She refuses that she had anything to do with this relationship and even denies what she has said. Despite that, I have recorded our conversations and I have asked her to take her part of the responsibility. Waiting for my sister to step up and take responsibility for her part is like a person waiting in a chair who eventually turns into a skeleton. So instead I have decided to write this narrative about people who feel a sense of empowerment from controlling others because they don't have control of their own lives. To people who simply enjoy being cruel to others. I imagine everyone else has an idea of such people because these people warned me about my sister Cindy. I thought they were talking about her desire to fight world issues and felt that was a matter of choice, and who was I to judge her? It's God's position to judge others, not mine. I had no idea that what they were actually talking about was someone who is evil. Yes, I probably sound airheaded. I was unaware and naive to the idea that a person would go out of their way to destroy another person's life. Not only naive, I was idealistic. I believed that if you did good things, then good things would come back to you. I realize a lot of people believe that we're responsible for our own actions. For the most part I agree with that. That's why I have worked super hard all of my life. My own sister, who I have taken under my wing, is out to ruin my life with her manipulation and lies. But when you're being emotionally manipulated by someone who has spent their whole life emotionally manipulating others, it's different. That's like saying when a mouse is caught by a cat, it's the mouse's fault. This manipulation can happen to anyone that has feelings. So she can feel better about the fact that they fucked up their own lives. I can see why in the UK they are making this type of behavior that Cindy did against the law. I still find it difficult to fathom that someone could be so evil. How could your own sister, who you taken under your wing, want so much to hurt me? The term for inability to believe this is called cognitive dissonance. This is the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. You can't see it when you're doing cognitive dissonance. What it does is block your mind from the truth and makes you blind to reality. It's a protective mechanism. Protects you from the pain that your sister will never be normal or typical. In fact, she is extremely unpredictable, and I will cover that later. It's one thing to say your sister is sick, it's a whole other thing to accept and internalize that your sister is mentally ill. This is very painful. This is how my relationship begun with my sister. I hadn't seen my sister for about 30 years other than when she visited for the summer a few times. Our relationship picked back up with her needing an orthopedic surgeon. And I happened to have been working at Olympia Orthopedics. It started with my sister Cindy calling me that she needed help, that she had a really bad knee and none of the doctors in Alaska were taking her seriously. She asked if I knew any surgeons that I worked for that did knee surgery, and if she paid cash could I get her a discount. Also, could she stay with me during her surgery? I retired shortly after her surgery and took a vacation trip to Hawaii. The psychopath will use you for whatever purpose she wants: a discount on surgery, money, sadistic pleasure, or a mask of normalcy, and keep you in your place by getting you to focus on your weaknesses and pouncing on your insecurities. However, no relationship with a psychopath starts that way. On the contrary, once they set their eyes on you as their main target, psychopaths typically engage in whirlwind charm, and believe me, the psychopath can be extremely charming. They flatter you constantly in the beginning. Who doesn't want their big sister's approval and for their big sister to be impressed by them?
What a great reward that would be. Ooh. All right, well, listen, I'm going to kind of cut the phone call kind of short, but I'm going to see that around, and if I can't do the Cabo gig, I definitely want to come on down to Olympia then sometime. But I think we should shoot for the Cabo. If you're always looking for somebody.
But what a great reward that would be. Oh. All right, well, listen, I'm going to kind of cut the phone call kind of short. But I'm going to stew that around. If I can't do the Cabo gig, I definitely want to come down to Olympia sometime. I think we should shoot for the Cabo because you're always looking for somebody.
She's being played. Oh, yeah. And once you realize that, you have a better chance. around the social structure of America. Chance to do a heart-to-heart talk with Autumn. I would explain that to her, that she's been victimized and that this whole thing, that this drug was absolutely designed to be highly addictive. It might actually give her the strength to realize she's being played.
Oh, yeah.
And once you realize that, you have a better chance, because then you're not like, oh, I'm just a loser and that's why I can't quit. Instead of beating yourself up, you need to realize that you got caught in a nasty web and it was designed to do exactly what it's doing to you. That it is, and even a one-time application get you drawn right in.
She's being played. And once you realize that you have a better chance from the social structure of America, chance to do a heart-to-heart talk with Autumn, I would explain that to her, that she's been victimized and that this whole thing, that this drug was absolutely designed to be highly addictive. It might actually give her the strength to realize she's being played. And once you realize that, you have a better chance. Because then you're not like, oh, I'm just a loser and that's why I can't quit. Instead of beating yourself up, you need to realize that you got caught in a nasty web. And it was designed to do exactly what it is doing to you. That all it takes is a one-time application to get you drawn right into the web.
Anything done. So
Okay.
we kind of got to do that. But nice to talk to you. Nice to know Mom's still alive. Right on. Right on, baby.
Yeah.
I didn't get anything done, so I gotta do that. But nice to hear Mom's still alive. Right on, baby. When Mom got put into a nursing home and we had to put her house back together, I paid for a round-trip ticket for my sister Cindy and shared my life and my home with her, so she could have a last visit with Mom. I never thought about being love-bombed by a sister. That's exactly what she was doing. She was love-bombing me. Love-bombing is the most malicious and deceitful portion of the entire relationship. It is filled with charm, lies, mirroring, fake affection and lots of strategic messages. This stage is extremely important for the psychopath, because it determines to them how many boundaries you willingly will allow to be violated and how good of a job they can do to get you deeply hooked, so that when the abuse starts you will stay. The better at bombing the psychopath is, the harder it will be for you to escape. Nobody is lured by anyone through initial criticism and abuse.
They are their most dangerous when they take the role of super nice and compassionate, even holy.
This is a perfect word for Cindy. Duplicity. The idea of doubleness is at the core of duplicity. Duplicity comes from a Latin word meaning double or twofold, and its original meaning in English has to do with a kind of deception in which you intentionally hide your true feelings or intentions behind false words or actions. If you are being duplicitous, there are two yous, the one you're showing and the one you're hiding. And key to the idea of duplicity, you're hiding that you in order to make people believe something that's not true.
Trust in a narcissist. The narcissist trusts no one.
I'm lonely here in Vegas. It's freaking crap house. You know, it is a shit fucking place. It turned it into such a hole here. I know the reason I kind of wanted to go to Hawaii would have been really nice to meet new people.
I am lonely here in Sitka, such a crap-ass place. You know how it a shit fucking place, it's such a hole here. The reason I wanted to go to Hawaii, I wanted to meet new people. They prey on sympathy. That is what they look for, since they have no idea what empathy is or how it feels. They know that if someone has it, they can control that person. This is what I call getting you in the web. So, with the combination of love bombing and oh feel sorry for me gets you in the web. It has nothing to do with how intelligent you are or how logical it is to have a bleeding heart for this person. You just do, and you're hooked like a fly in a spider's web. She also talked about my daughter and Mom, which builds trust, which binds it all together. Next, I will explain the next control tactic that the narcissist loves is rescue me. One of the many tactics that narcissists use is to bait into their web, to get you to feel sorry for them. She got me to feel sorry for her having to live in Alaska. I offered my sister that I would pay for her ticket to Hawaii since I knew she didn't have a lot of money, and help her get out of Alaska for a while and get some sunshine. I was taking care of my sister and trying to make her life better. Narcissists thrive on getting you to feel pity. It's the way they truly get control over you, and bait you. The bait worked. I was in the web. I felt sorry for her, and yet I felt she was such a good person. End of part 1. Please stay tuned for part 2.